I'm pretty sure if you guys have a phone, a TV, or a brain, that you're aware of the different changes that are going on in the world, and especially in America. And I wanted to talk about this. Now, it's not always easy for me to articulate myself in the clearest way, but I'm going to do my best to articulate some of the thoughts that I have about the current state of affairs in America specifically, because that's where I live. Now, like I said, you guys are probably seeing every single day something new pop up on your phone, on your news feed, or online somewhere. It's a lot of junk. It's just crazy. You never know what's falling out of the sky. You never know what people are doing or what they're gonna do. And everything is so stressful and traumatic and dramatic that there's just a few things that I feel need to be said about everything that's going on. So you guys stick with me if you want to hear about it. I know that my opinion is not everyone's opinion, and we might not agree on everything that I say in this video, but I feel it's important to express myself about this because some people may agree with me and see it my way, and you guys may be able to gain something from what I have to say. And I'm trying to work on being confident. So we're going to talk about the current state of affairs in America today, and I want to hear from you guys about how you're feeling. If you live in the United States, if you live in a different country, how are you guys feeling about the way the world is changing right now? Because listen, if you don't feel like the world is changing, then you must be Patrick Star living under a rock. And that's about all I can say about it. There's no other way to frame what's going on right now other than to realize and acknowledge and accept that things are changing. If you rock with me and if you enjoy my content, be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. You guys do me a favor. I am working to get to 2,000 subscribers, and that humble number is something that's really close to my heart because then we can progress and we can move forward. So you guys help me out by giving this video a like, leave me a comment below, let me know what you're thinking, share the video with anyone who you think may need to hear it, and just keep an open mind because things are not easy right now. And I think we need to talk about it. So, you guys, a lot of people are afraid right now being in America. There's a lot of people who are on the edge of their seats right now when it comes to everything that's going on. And I'm not sure what twilight zone that we dropped down into, but this is a mess. And it's really not a mess all of a sudden. I think what a lot of people don't realize about what's going on in this country is that things have been a mess for a long time. Things have been awry. Things have not been the way that technically, I guess you would say they should be, even though you can't really say what things should be. But you have to acknowledge and realize that when there's something going on underneath the surface or behind the scenes, it's never gonna show up when you think it should show up. It's gonna show up when the mess gets out of control.
Now, if I get into it with them, I gotta live here and you don't.
Girl, bye. It's gonna show up when things begin to become too much to bear and too much to handle, right? Like if you have someone, which I know this personally because I believe that my grandmother was a hoarder, but if you have someone who's a hoarder or you've ever watched the show Hoarders, you'll notice that all of the trash and junk and mess that piles up in these people's houses does not just show up overnight. It's not something that just magically appears out of nowhere. It's something that's been building for a long period of time. And that's what I feel like is going on in America. A lot of the trash and the mess and the dirt and the decay and all of the problems that we've been facing, wherever they come from, have just been things that are now coming to the surface because they've been swept under the rug for so long. They've been hidden in the closet away from prying eyes for so long. It's like when you were a kid and your parents told you to clean up, and instead of actually making the effort to throw away things you needed to throw away or to clean up your room, you would just throw everything in a closet because then nobody can see it. You can't even see it. And I think that's what's been going on in America. We've been sweeping so many things under the rug, and we've been trying to hide so many things in the closet of this country that it's just like, it's inevitable for things to start hitting the fan. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that. Like, it blows my mind. Like, it really perplexes me when I look at people on social media or, you know, in public sometimes when I hear people talking about things as if this just started happening when Trump got elected. Like, are we crazy? Like, I don't get it, because these are things that have been happening, and either people know that it's been happening and they don't know what to do about it, or they know that it's been happening and they try to avoid it or ignore it, or they're just oblivious to what's going on around them. So for me, when I see so many people getting worked up and riled up about what our president is doing and about how things are going, it's like, in my mind, I'm kind of like, well, what did you expect? After all of this submersion, if that's even a word, of emotions, after we've pushed so many things away and pushed so many things down and tried to hide so many things behind this proverbial curtain or closet door, what did you expect was gonna happen after you do that for so long? Like, if in your personal life, if you have a problem or an issue or some type of trauma that you've experienced, it's gonna continue to erode and corrode until you actually deal with it. There's nothing that you can do to ignore or forget about an issue unless you deal with the issue. Like, you can avoid someone or avoid something or ignore someone or ignore something for so long until you can't. And sometimes I feel like all of the conveniences that we have and all of the ways that we've been groomed and become accustomed to living life in a certain way in this country has caused us to lose sight of what life really is and what life really means. It's like everybody's stuck in this robotic behavior pattern where they just let things get to them on a level that's so deep, as if it's a fresh wound. People are mad about human rights. People are mad about anything to do with money, whether it's your living situation, your job, government assistance, equality when it comes to your self-identification, whatever that may be, whether it's race, religion, sexuality, ethnicity, whatever. Everybody's mad about all these things as if they just got cut with the blade of truth. Baby, this been happening. This been happening for so long. And I have a lot of rants on this channel about like black people, but it's not just about black people. It's about everybody. And this has been going on for so long. And I just feel like people are in this oblivious state of mind where they don't want to deal with the fact that they've been ignoring these issues and pushing them aside and sweeping them under the rug, and now you have to face the music. It's just as simple as that. And right now, I think a lot of Americans are in a place where the inability to be in denial is hitting them really hard. It's hitting them like a Mack truck. And you can't be in denial. And that's something that we've been being built up to for a long time. A lot of the things that I talk about on this channel are like semi-spiritual, semi-this, that, the other advice. I'm just a regular person. Like, I don't have all the answers to the questions that a lot of people are asking themselves right now, other than the things that I've tried to implement in my life and tools that I've attempted to incorporate to help actually deal with what's going on underneath the surface of myself. I'm not a perfect person. I don't claim to be a perfect person. I'm trying really hard to figure this shit out. And it's not easy for me, okay? I have my struggles, struggles like strawberries. I be struggling. But at the same time, I have to choose the life that I want to live, and I have to choose the reality that I gravitate towards. And one thing that hasn't changed in my life, one thing that I've always leaned towards when it comes to existing, is being honest and being genuine and telling the truth. And there are times where I lie to myself. There are times where I've lied to myself about my behavior. There's times where I've lied to myself about people around me. There's times where I've lied to myself about anything and everything if it was inconvenient for me to see the truth. But I've noticed, and over time I've learned, that does not serve you if you never at least attempt to deal with the things that are bothering you and that are plaguing you in your life. If you always point the blame at other people, or you want to make it a granular issue when something is more big picture, you're gonna constantly have a problem. Like when I say making something granular when it's a bigger issue, it's like people in the United States right now, people in America, act as if the problem that we're having is granular. For example, our president, people want to blame him and point the finger at him. And I'm not saying that the current sitting president doesn't have his flaws, okay? I'm not endorsing or condoning any behavior, but it's not a granular issue. That's the point. It's not just about the president. It's not just about our elected officials. It's not just about living conditions or wages. It's all of those things combined. It's the full picture. If you focus in and you zoom in so close to an issue, you lose sight of the whole shebang. If you're doing a puzzle and you're only looking at one part of the puzzle, but you're missing a bunch of pieces everywhere else, you're never gonna finish the puzzle. The puzzle is always gonna look janky. It's gonna sit there on your table. You're gonna be frustrated every time you look at it, and you're never gonna finish it. You're never gonna fix it. It's never gonna be a complete picture because you're focusing in on one spot. You're focusing in on one piece that you can't find, but you have to look at all the pieces around that open space to see what piece actually fits there. And I'm a person who kind of like uses analogies and makes my best attempt at telling stories. So I feel a lot of people will be able to relate to this on a more personal level. And I think that's what people usually lose sight of, is what's going on a larger scale is also what's going on a personal scale, on a more smaller scale. If you have a bunch of problems in your country, whatever country that you live in, more than likely it boils down to the everyday actions of the everyday people who are participating in the forward progress of that country. And I know that there are quote unquote controlling forces that dictate and control people, but at the core, it's about everybody. And it's kind of scary and sad to see how disconnected and detached we've all become when it comes to the way things are being handled. Because honestly, I don't even think a lot of people in the United States, in America, are upset about what's going on in America for the reason that people try to make it seem. Everybody on social media has become an activist. Everybody on social media is the next governor, the next politician, the next state representative for Congress. Everybody on the internet has become a mediator or a reporter for what's going on. And a lot of people are really passionate about what's going on because they have roots and history and a desire to discuss these types of topics. But because we have so much accessibility to each other, it's like a false accessibility because they be censoring. But because we have such an accessibility to information, so to speak, and to each other, so to speak, everybody has something to say about everything that's going on. But I feel personally that the reason why so many people are upset about what's going on is not truly because of what's going on, because it's been going on. How y'all gonna sit here and act like this is something new? How are you gonna sit here and act like criticism and oppression and stigmatization is something new? It's not. And it's not. The difference now is that it's upsetting your comfortability. It's upsetting your ability to be complacent. It's upsetting your, aesthetic of what you want your life to look like. and it's becoming something that's unavoidable and something that you can't ignore anymore. I think that's truly why people are so upset. And I wish folks would just be real about it. Like, I wish people would just tell the truth and be honest about how they really feel and why they feel that way, because I think that's one of the final steps to actually seeing a change. Everybody's so afraid, and I get it, because there's so many things to be afraid of, but honestly, everybody's so afraid of speaking their truth. And that's corny to even say that, but everybody's really afraid of just telling the truth and honestly discussing and expressing themselves, because we've been tricked and bamboozled and bullied into grouping together and having the same opinion. And that's a natural human behavior, you know, as the species that we are. We're going to form groups. We're going to form communities. We want to be together. People are meant to be around each other. We're a social being, okay? But I think what people really need to consider is that nothing is going to change if we continue to approach and address situations the way that we've been doing it for years and decades. It's not going to do anything different. More than likely, it's going to actually make things worse. And I know that a lot of people are afraid to speak honestly about what's going on in the world. A lot of people are beginning to lose their fear of speaking honestly, because some people are just like, you know what, we don't know if it's gonna be the last day, so we might as well say. And I applaud that in a lot of people, but it is hard to be honest, not only with others, but first and foremost with yourself. But I think really that's the final step. The final step towards making a positive change and having some type of progress be made where we are right now in our life is to stop being scary. It's not easy though, because when you tell the truth, the honest truth, and everybody knows what the honest truth is, people try to act like they don't have a moral compass. People try to act like they don't know right from wrong, but there's an encrypted, ingrained definition and knowledge within all of us of what's right and wrong, unless you have some type of mental imbalance. And I'm not going to diagnose you because I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or psychologist, so please don't take this as medical advice. But we all have an inner compass for the most part that guides us to know what right from wrong is. And a lot of the solution to this is not only honesty and acceptance of what's going on and a desire to vocalize more honestly with each other, but there's also this accountability that needs to take place to realize, okay, what side do I want to be on? Where in my life have I mistreated other people? Where in my life have I been mistreated and allowed it to govern my character? Where do I need to improve? Because I don't have the solution to any of these crazy problems, okay? I'm sitting here with my tea or my coffee or whatever I'm, being entertained with at the time.
2 shots of vodka.
And I'm watching, but I do have an opinion, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because there are ways that we can improve as a group, as people. And if we want the ability to have any semblance of peace in our lives, there's gonna have to be an acceptance from all of us, whoever we are, whatever walk of life we come from, that we have allowed and facilitated the growth of nonsense when it comes to our leaders, when it comes to our rules, regulations, and policies, when it comes to how we view each other. We have to accept that we are a part of the problem and that we have allowed this reality to get this far. And I just don't think a lot of people are ready to accept it. I don't think a lot of people are ready to look at themselves in the mirror in order to look at the situation clearly, because the only way each and every one of us are going to be able to see a situation clearly is if we look at ourselves. And that's something that a lot of Americans don't want to do. They like to blame, they like to complain, and they like to point the finger. And usually it's not a polite finger, okay? I just feel like everybody's scared and everybody's worried about everything. One thing about it, I'm not necessarily just a person who's just unbothered and unfazed by what's going on in the world. But like, to be honest with you, it's just so much that you cannot control in life. Like, there are so many things that are outside of your control in life. And a lot of religious people people and spiritual people and people who have belief in a higher power would say that that's why you have to put your trust in God. And I agree, and I believe that. There's really no but to that statement. It's just a matter of how you do that and actually applying that practice and belief to your life. It becomes very difficult and hard. A lot of people say, oh, trust in God, put your faith in God, but everybody's running around scared and hollering and grabbing up all the toilet paper at the stove. Whenever something happens, all the toilet paper is gone, all the milk is gone, all the eggs are gone. Y'all are the most unfaithful, faithful people I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not gonna say that I'm like outside of this. Like I have things that I'm afraid of sometimes, but like the fact that so many people get up in arms and scared I'm telling y'all, because y'all do not understand. I've made several videos on this channel. Literally what I said not that I want to speak anything. I never want to speak anything negative into existence. And people always jump down your throat like,
oh, well, if you spoke it into existence, then
yes, your words have power. Yes, your thoughts have power. But there's a difference between being intuitive and having foresight than being negative and speaking something negative into existence. Anyway, I'm just explaining to you guys, if you go back, this will prove my statement. I have seen things and I feel things. And when I tell you guys that the state of affairs in this country is going to get so just unfathomably ghetto, like y'all just do not understand. Y'all are not hearing me, boo. You do not hear me right now. It is about to get so ghetto to the point where this is a ghetto that we've never seen. And everybody wants to act like they're unfazed or they're unbothered, but people are starting to shed that tough exterior. Like you're starting to see people become really up in arms and worried and anxious about what's gonna happen in the world. But at the end of the day, like what I really believe is that whenever it's my time, it's gonna be my time. And if it's not my time, then it's not gonna be my time. Anything in between or around that, anything else, I don't really want to think or worry about it. I want to be an adult and I want to be responsible and I want to do my duty as a functioning adult in society. But I also want to like joke and have fun and like enjoy whatever time that I have on this earth. And I just don't know. I just feel like people are so uptight and it is so draining all the time. It's not even just draining for the people who are observing it. It's draining for the people who are participating. Like, why would you want to participate in activity and behavior that not only drains you, but it also drains other people, and then it perpetuates the stereotypical response that the people who you complain about being in control want you to have? Like, why would you want to perpetuate that? And no matter how many times people talk about positivity and spreading a positive message, don't none of y'all motherfuckers want to hear that shit. Don't none of y'all motherfuckers want to hear that shit. Nobody wants to talk about positivity. The only thing that feeds the algorithm is drama and ghetto. That's all y'all know. That's the only thing y'all understand. And it's not everybody, because a lot of people understand what I'm saying. And if you hear, like and subscribe, share the video. Help me find my people, because I'm so sick of this shit. I'm just saying, it's about to get a lot worse than what people are ready for. Because if this is stressful, man, I'm telling you, you ain't seen nothing yet, you ain't heard nothing yet, and you ain't ready for what's about to come. So I guess my suggestion to anybody who's watching this video and anybody who gravitated towards this video, who wants to look at things differently, is to really work on changing your perspective. Really work on changing your perspective and accepting and acknowledging anything in your life that you feel like you need to improve upon or change. Really focus and work on looking in the mirror at yourself and forgiveness, because letting go of the past and letting go of pain, releasing the things in your life that you really feel like have not served you, it's a process. It's not going to be easy. It's very hard, especially if you are in an environment, which a lot of us are. It's not just the United States, it's not just America. A lot of people all around the world, everybody pretty much, because we're literally transitioning into a new reality, and what reality means is changing. But anyone who who is wanting to have more peace in their life, regardless of the surroundings that you're in or what's going on, you have to first work on and look at yourself. And when you identify the things within yourself that aren't working, or the things within yourself that are holding you back, or the things within yourself that keep you blinded and stuck in stigmas that no longer feel good to you, the sooner you can learn and adapt in order to escape those situations. And it's not even really escaping, it's just evolving. It's evolving through those situations. So if you're watching this and you feel a lack of inspiration or a lack of joy or a lack of peace, just rest assured that nothing is happening for no reason. Everybody's so pissed off and irritated about Trump and Elon Musk and whoever all these other people are, and all these names that are going to be forgotten after hundreds of years. Like, your soul is here for this experience. Nobody is going to necessarily remember this besides us. And when we decide to go on about our business in another place, spiritually or energetically, and we're no longer here on this earth, we're not going to even remember it. Like, you probably lived through so much turmoil. You probably have lived through other wars in other lifetimes and lived through chaotic, traumatic events that in a sensory way you remember because it's encrypted, but in like a more logical, conscious way, you don't remember. And what's important is for you to take a step back, zoom out from the puzzle, and understand what the picture is attempting to look like so that you can understand the piece that needs to be fit in. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. I hope that it helped you. Boo. Get in the comments and let me know how you've been feeling. What has been going on around you? Where are you? You know, are you in the United States? Are you in America? Are you in a different country? What have you been noticing about yourself when it comes to your reactions to situations? And what would you like to change? Because I feel strongly that sharing these types of things and voicing your opinion, even if not a lot of people acknowledge it, helps you to progress. So that's all that I want us to do, you guys. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, so help your girl out.
Help me! Help me!
And I will see you guys next time. Bye.